All right, so we're going to continue in Derush Aleph, right? So the second half. So basically, we have three questions. What are the three questions?
I know.
I'm asking you. I'm allowed to ask a question. What's the three questions?
From yesterday.
It's the same three questions. He gave two different answers. Yesterday was one way to look at it, and now he's giving you a different way to look at it. The three questions are the same. The first one is why specifically did Moshe ask to go inside of Eretz Israel only after he took over Sihon and Og, right? Why Davka did that change things in order for him to start asking, right? The second question we asked is why did Moshe Rabbeinu want to go inside the land so badly? If we know that Hashem said that I'm going to give you the zechut as if you went in already and did everything there. And the third question was what does the pasuk says? Right? Al tosef, that you have enough. Don't continue to pray to me. Those are the three questions. Today we gave a different. We started by saying by adding another question by asking this. Oh, what are these re'iyot? Hashem tells them go look, get up there and go look. Right? V'sa'inecha yama safona. Right? Why go look at all these directions? What's the whole concept of directions? Right? And it says in Zod Beracha that Moshe tells Bnei Israel that Hashem showed us the Gilad and Dan, right? And then again the pasuk says, "V'hiriticha be'enecha ushma lo ta'avod." I'm going to show you with your eyes, and you're not going to be able to pass. Right? How? Why is one contingent on the other? That you're going to see, but you're not going to be able to pass. Why is it that it's saying that it's that? Why is Davka after Sihon and Og? You're going to see, but you're not going to pass. Why is it going to be in that order? So it really ties into the first question of why Davka after Sihon and Og, after he beats Sihon and Og, he wants to go fight. He wants to ask to come back in. And again, we added what's the concept of all these re'iyot that Hashem told me to go up and look right, left, the four directions and to see Eretz Israel. And we answered another question. We asked, why does it say V'hiriticha be'enecha? I will let you see with your eyes. Be'enecha. It should have said Hiritiha be'enecha. That I will let you see it. I'll let you see the land with your eyes. What does it mean that I will let you see with your own eyes? That was the other question we asked. So the first answer we give is what's the kavanah of Moshe? The kavanah of Moshe is that when Moshe was by the Sinai, he turned his face from the Sinai. And it says in the Midrash that if Rabbi Yeshua ben Kohath says that if he didn't turn from the Sinai, he says it's not good that he turned his face from the Sinai, because if he did not turn his face from the Sinai, then Hashem would have showed him everything. It would have showed him male mata, ma shaya ma sha'ati liyot. What was, what is. He's going to show him from all the back end, the whole back end story, soup to nuts, from Adam and Rishon all the way to Hayat Metim. And at the end, when he asked Hashem to when he says show me my face, he's saying show me the back end, show me everything. What does he answer? Hashem answers, Lo tuchal lirot et panai, you can't see. Right? So Moshe, we know, he knew that he could have seen it, and now he felt bad. And he wanted to, now the fact that he could not see it, he was hoping that if he goes inside of Eretz Israel, Hashem would be able, the zechut of the land will give him the ability to see inside. And we'll be able to, and Hashem will now come to show him ma'lemala, ma'lemata, ma'shaya, ma'sheyeh. So Hashem says, that's the reason why you want to go in, I'll give it to you now. You still can't go in. But if that's what if you want it that badly, I'll give it to you. That's what Hashem says. Right? And that's what it says. And HaKadosh Baruch Hu says, if the only reason why, because you want to go see what's going on, Ani mareh lach, I'm going to show you. Right? Like Rashi says in Parshat Vezot Beracha, Vayareu Hashem et kol haaretz et Gilad ve'dan. Why does it Gilad ve'dan? Because it goes through. So Rashi says that Hashem showed that Shevet Dan was Oved Avodah Zarah, and then the Pilishtim came and harassed them, and then Hashem gave Dan Shimshon in order to defend them and to beat them. Then he showed also Devorah and what's his name? And Balak, right? He showed it, right? Right, Barak, right, Devorah and Barak. Then he also showed David HaMelech. The end of she says they showed him all the way to Tilabot till Tehait Metim. So he showed him everything. But at the same time, he still wouldn't let him go in. But if that's the reason why you want to go in, I'll give it to you now, but you still can't go in. right? And that's what it means. Sa'enecha yama safona temana mizraha. Go look and see from from all the four directions, right? What is because why? So Rashi says that it wasn't physically possible for him to go to Ever Yarden, to on top by the Jordan River, and be able to see all of Eretz Yisrael. It's not possible. Your eyes don't extend that much. So what does it mean? It means that he showed him with the organuz. How did Hashem show him? He showed him with the organuz. And we said, where does the organuz come from? Organuz comes from the right. Vahi or, vahi erev, vahi boker. Right? Hashem on the first day creates or. We say every day, right? You would say it or ubore hosher. Hashem forms light and creates darkness. He forms light, creates darkness. So the or is talking here, the or ganuz. The or ganuz Hashem took away. He saw it. We said he leaves it for the tzaddikim lati lavo. So when Hashem showed Moshe what was and what will be, he's showing him using the or ganuz. And we mentioned also Hanukkah. That we say it says in the Gemara that the first 30 minutes of your Hanukkah, when you light your ner Hanukkah, it's from the or Hashem grants it from the organus. So the first 30 minutes are very nice. It's good. You should sit there, learn there. I remember the first time we went to America for Hanukkah, because that's the winter vacation in Israel. That's the winter break, is Hanukkah. So we went, and I felt very like NG, like I wanted to be back in Israel, this and that. But I remember learning by the menorah for the first 30 minutes. It felt good. It felt like extra good. I remember that. Organuz, boom. So, but he's saying that. Why does he end by saying ki lo ta'avor et hayarden hazeh? The pasuk ends by saying this because now that you see with the organuz what's going to be, you know now that you're not going to be able to cross, because you see that there's a chain of events that are going to happen, and they can't happen if you go in. So you need to stay here for these things to happen, right? And then remember we said this was crazy. We said, why does it say that one is contingent on the other? Why was the war of Sihon and Og contingent, thinking that Moshe Rabbeinu might be able to come into the land? And we explained. By the way, does it say down there where it says this? Because that kind of be important. Because what we're about to say is a little mejnun. It's crazy. Does it say anywhere? Because it doesn't say here. All it says is we know that Eretz Sihon and Og in the future, during the time of the Geulah, is going to be corresponding to the first three Sfirot. You have Eretz Sefirot. The first three are Keter, Chokhmah, and Binah. And we know that Keter, Chokhmah, Binah are Yoter Mubhar than Da'at, than what's under it. So you have Keter, Chokhmah, Binah, and Da'at. Eretz Yisrael corresponds to Da'at, the Sefirah of Da'at. And Moshe Rabbeinu wanted to be assumed that he would be buried in the land that corresponds to his own Sefirah, which is Da'at, because his Yesod is also Da'at. And he assumed that since Sihon and Og were captured, that means you could cross three Sfirot off the list. Keter, Chokhmah, Binah, the next one would be Da'at. And now, so Hashem shows him that when Mashiach comes, the land of Sihon and Og are going to be on a higher level than Eretz Yisrael itself, which is crazy to even think of. And that's what I was saying. Does it say where it says it? Because, that's kind of something you want to check inside. But I said before, we're going to rely on the Zera Shimshon. So Moshe Rabbeinu Davka, when he saw that he conquered Sihon and Og, he assumed that the next on the list is Da'at, and this is where I belong. And Hashem says, no, now that you're going to see as Tavin, then you're going to understand, do not cross the Yarden, because even more so, this place that you're going to be buried is even on a higher level than Eretz Yisrael itself. When Mashiach comes, not now, when Mashiach comes. And then that helps us with to answer a question on Rashi, where Rashi says, Zot ha'aretz asher ishbati le'Abraham, Yitzchak v'Yaakov. That what does Rashi say? Rashi says that you're going to go and testify to the Avot that the land that Hashem fulfilled His promise. And the question of Zera Shimshon is, how is that testifying? Hashem showed the Avot the whole land, and Hashem showed Moshe the whole land, and says that I'm going to give this to Bnei Israel. That's not enough to testify that it was actually done. Say that all the Bnei Israel were inside, and then the halot were given out and everything. Now go tell the Avot that I fulfilled my promise. But now that you didn't even cross the line, and now you're going to use that as testimony to tell the Avot? That doesn't make sense. So according to what we said, it makes perfect sense, because he's going to go to the Avot and say, I was buried on the Ever Yarden. I was buried outside of Israel, and technically I should have been buried inside of Israel. But Hashem showed me la'atid lavod tehayat metim that Sihon and Og is going to be even greater than Eretz Yisrael. And if Sihon and Og are going to be greater than Eretz Yisrael, that means that Hashem already gave us Eretz Yisrael because we're already in there. So we pack it to Eretz Yisrael, and then the Sfirot does its thing, and all of a sudden Sihon and Og climb even higher.
Meaning they conquered right now.
We conquered now Sihon and Og. Regular conquer. Will be la'atid lavod.
So certainly, he's certainly going to give us Eretz Yisrael.
He's going to give us. He's going to because before
secondary.
Right. Because first you're going to get Eretz Yisrael first. Then if you get Eretz Yisrael, then you're going to get Sihon and Og. It's going to be revealed, or I don't exactly know how, but whatever. That Sihon and Og are going to be on a greater level than on Eretz Yisrael itself, and therefore I promise you it's going to happen. And that's the testimony that Moshe Rabbeinu is going to give to the Avot. Right, and then we finished by saying Hiriticha be'enecha. Right, you should have said Hiritiha. That I showed it to you. Why did it say you will see with your own eyes? It makes sense to what because Hashem showed him each generation and each leader of each generation, like it says in Tikkunei HaZohar. What does it mean that Hashem showed him each generation all the Shofetim? The Shofetim we know were Talmidei Chachamim, were the Gadol Hador. And he showed it to Tikkunei HaZohar. I remember learning this. It says that the Neshama of Moshe Rabbeinu extends throughout all the generations, and each Talmid Chacham, each Gadol, each rabbi has a spark, has a piece of Moshe Rabbeinu in him. That's what the Zohar says. So when he says that I will show it to you, I will show with your own eyes. You're going to see yourself. You're going to see yourself in each Talmid Chacham. And if you come, right, the Megalei HaMukot says that if Moshe came to Eretz Yisrael himself, he would have planted Bnei Yisrael so deeply, so firmly that there was never that if Bnei Yisrael sinned, we would never have any type of galut. And if we never had any type of galut, there's no kapara. Remember we learned that Abraham Avinu made a deal with God. Right? Hashem said, "What do you want your children to go through, Geinam or galut?" And Abraham said, "Galut." So if Moshe went in and would nullify the concept of galut at all, then there's nothing left. You have Geinam. There's no kapara. And Abraham Avinu wanted galut over Geinam, right? So he showed him. So he said, if you go, it's not possible. Therefore, Shema lo ta'avod, you can't pass. And why does it say Al tosif davar? Why it says Al tosif davar elai od badavar hazeh? Why does it say the word badavar hazeh? Why is it with this item specifically? Because what it says in the Yevamot that Kadosh Baruch Hu craves the tefillot of the tzaddikim. So when you're praying to God and He's not answering you, you could assume that you're a tzaddik because He loves the tefillot tzaddikim. But in order to not say that Hashem didn't answer Moshe because he's not a tzaddik, he says davka bedavar hazeh. The actual words of the pasuk on this item specifically, but not on anything else. Anything else I crave. Ani mitaveh. Ani adar ba mitaveh la. Right, and that's what the Zera Shimshon finishes by saying that what it say od v'davar hazeh specifically in this item because of what it says in the Gemara Yevamot that because Hashem craves the tefillot of the tzaddikim and in order has v'shalom to say that God forbid Moshe was not a tzaddik and therefore Hashem didn't answer his tefillah, that's why the pasuk goes out of his way to say v'davar hazeh. But davar hazeh means specifically this item. Why this item? This item I'm not listening. Anything else I'll give you, but not this item. And the zechut of learning with Zera Shimshon, Hashem should crave out tefillot and actually give what we want until Mashiach comes. Amen.